Hello and welcome to the second installment of the Extreme Hardware podcast. Joining me today is our illustrious guests. We have Cynical Unicorn, also known as Chris, or Dr. Unicorn, I believe.
Yeah, that's me. I'm a doctor.
Thank you, Chris. We also have... Thank you. We also have Simmons, not a doctor.
I am, yes. Damn it, you beat me to it.
Yes, thank you. And
yeah, that's him.
Replacing Frick Frock, we have our gamer girl guest, Kat M.
Sup, dudes?
Hi, Kat. Brilliant. Okay, so starting off, very important, and I hope you all have thought about the nut check. What is the daily nut check? You need a daily nut check-in.
I ate nuts today.
That's good. I'm not sure. You weren't here last time. I'm not sure if you know the context, but
no, I just ate almonds today, bro.
Oh,
same girlfriend.
Yeah. So on the last podcast, essentially, there was an article that showed nut consumption improves, performance for guys. Essentially,
yeah, but what kind of nuts?
Any kind of nuts, tree nuts, almonds, walnuts, any nuts, mixed nuts,
All the nuts.
Yes, as many nuts as you can shove down your throat.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So
Immature.
So, Chris, have you been consuming nuts?
Yes, I had almonds and chocolate chips for breakfast, and it was delicious.
That's all you ate for breakfast was almonds and chocolate chips. What kind of breakfast is that?
Here we
more
go.
breakfast than I normally have.
I mean,
Jesus.
But I
Jesus.
tend not to eat breakfast because why would I? Breakfast is gross.
Wait,
But
hang
why
on.
almonds and chocolate chips? Why?
Because almonds are good and chocolate is good, and almonds and chocolate go well together.
I know, I have Hershey Kisses with almonds on my desk at work.
Yeah, see, you get it.
I get it.
Wait, did you not have a pumpkin spice latte?
I actually had a skinny hot chocolate today.
Wow. On a
Yeah.
diet. Oh, really?
Yeah. The doctor says he can unamputate my feet.
Wait, what? Oh boy, here we go.
No, I'm not elaborating. We're just leaving it.
Okay.
all right.
Well, so moving on then, rapidly. Our first article. Facebook actually has another privacy breach.
Wow, what a shock.
Wait, they
Yeah.
do?
Yes.
I didn't know about this.
Well, might be quite relevant to you because I think you're the only one out of us actually using Facebook still.
Wait, really?
Goddamn normie.
Yeah, I stopped probably 6 to 8 years ago.
6 to 8 years ago.
Yeah, it really just became a place where your parents could harass you. So,
Oh yeah, I hide my mom on Facebook. I don't want
yeah,
to see what she does.
I unfriended my dad and he got really mad.
Yeah, dude, it happens. It happens. My brother unfriended my mom, and she got really mad too. I don't know. People get really angry about stuff on Facebook. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, when I unfriended my dad, he texted me and he's like, why aren't we friends on Facebook? What are you doing? He's like, friend me again.
No.
Yeah,
God, I've got some really dumb Facebook stories.
Okay, before we get into that, Chris, let me at least read the article.
Yeah, let's hear
No,
about the
I want
breach.
to complain.
Let's hear about the breach. Come on. I wanna
Yes.
hear.
So, essentially, a server contained more than 419 million records of several databases across different countries, different regions, etc., on US-based Facebook users. US and UK and Vietnam as well. But basically, phone numbers have been leaked, as well as is it just phone numbers? Phone numbers, names, gender, and locations by country have been leaked to the public. And this
Want to know
yeah.
what's funny though is that you can't have a Facebook account without a valid phone number.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
can.
I don't think I needed one when I signed up, but I did sign up in 2005.
Yeah, I didn't need one when I signed up either, but I know because I have friends that post bad things on Facebook and get banned, and they have to make alternate accounts and stuff, and they can't do it because they don't have phone numbers.
What kinds of bad things?
I'll show you later.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of do feel like if you are using Facebook, putting in all these details and expecting it to be private these days, unfortunately, I don't think you should have that expectation. I mean,
That's why I only post memes, yo.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, like you need a phone number to sign up for Facebook,
Yeah,
and now this has just been
exactly.
leaked in clear text. You know, your phone number, your name, your country, so even some people's date of birth as well, which is just a huge information dump for
Yeah.
for
I don't
spam
know. If anybody
callers.
calls me, I'm just not going to pick up, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm actually quite glad that a lot of phones or phone
Oh yeah, my
carriers
phone
as well.
tells me if they're like suspected spam or something like that. I forget what it says.
Yeah, mine
Yeah,
doesn't.
scam likely is what
Unfortunately.
mine says.
Yeah, it says that for my
Yeah.
work when my work phones me, which is kind of funny.
Uh,
It means someone
this-
reported it.
is this a feature that Apple needs to add? Kat, you don't have an iPhone, do you?
No, I have a Pixel 3.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a shame.
yeah.
It's a good phone, bro. I take nice pictures with it.
I heard a lot of quality control issues with that.
I don't have any issues with it really. I haven't had any. Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm not saying I'm not going to, but I haven't yet.
Yeah,
It takes really nice pictures though.
that's good. Yeah, my iPhone 6 takes pretty bad pictures.
You only
Yeah.
have an iPhone 6?
Come now, I'm poor.
Oh yeah.
I have an iPhone 6
I
as
forgot.
well. It's bendy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my screen kind of clicks because the chassis is bent in a little bit of a U shape. So I
Alex,
can
would you
click
like to click it into the microphone right now?
I can try.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
boy.
I know that it works, Alex.
What? Oh boy.
That was probably it. Yeah.
I
But
can
yeah,
do-
so I mean, it's mainly phone numbers that have been leaked, essentially,
well.
across US and UK and Vietnamese citizens. They were just stored in clear text, you know.
That's
It's just
messed
another
up.
fumble. It's kind of weird that this always happens to Facebook as well. Like it does. I don't think it's happened to Google. I don't think it's happened to like even Yahoo or whatever. Like they just tend to be very lax with their security and have a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really doesn't help. Like Zuckerberg does not have respect for his users, but as for like Google, information is their business. I mean, so is Facebook's, but like Google
I trust
especially, it's
Google,
like
man. I trust them.
That's
that's their
genius.
business. I don't trust Google with regards to like government agencies, but as far as like private companies go, yeah, it's probably not going to get leaked to like hackers because they have decent security.
Would you say you trust Google over Apple?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Apple. I
I-
don't use Apple products.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Google over Apple. Like I'd sooner.
I
store
mean,
stuff
in a way, I
iCloud.
think you're right because when I locked myself out of my Apple account and it took like a week for me to recover it.
Oh,
'Cause
lovely.
I couldn't because I had to reset my password and everything, and they wouldn't let me do it.
Did Apple forget your
So-
password?
Stop it!
No,
Inside
actually-
jokes.
I actually need to complain about the Apple security because I still have iTunes for some ungodly reason. But occasionally, Apple decides that they want to lock your Apple account, and you have to re-enable it as a verification
Oh.
security thing. And they send the sketchiest "your account has been locked" emails from some domain that isn't even an Apple domain, and I'm like, all right, is this actually legit? Well, let me go take the time to log into the browser. Well, I guess this was legit. Why?
Yeah, I changed my iCloud email address, and my account kept locking out for about 3 months after that. Just
Jeez.
my
What?
phone kept using my old one, and no matter how many times I ended up getting like I've got a different phone now, and it still grabs the old one at times. I have no idea why. And then if it does that enough times, it just locks me out of my iCloud, which is annoying. So I don't know. I haven't seen
I've
that
never
with
been
anything
locked
else.
out of my phone.
Well,
I was just locked out of
you've only-
Windows.
Yeah, that was Microsoft's fault. Let's be honest.
They
You
forgot my
didn't-
password.
Yeah,
Yo.
you didn't forget it at all. You knew
Nope.
exactly the password, and your computer just didn't remember what you remembered.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
get it now.
That happens a lot.
You get it now.
You're not the only one.
Shut up. Rip.
So, in other tech news, as a completely not abrupt segue, Intel is now releasing a 9900KS after they released the KF, not the KFC, just the KF. They're releasing the KS now, which is supposed to be 5 gigahertz all-core turbo boost. And that's the pretty much only change in it, as
How
far
much
as
is
I
it?
can tell.
Prices haven't been announced yet, but probably
Okay.
I'm going to guesstimate $600.
No
Actually,
way.
I don't think there have been.
To
prices
be
yet.
honest,
Well, 9900K is already 500, so they've got to do something. And the
488 come now.
the 8086K was like, how much was it? It was like 400 instead of 300, I think.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be the exact same price, $488. TDP and price hasn't been confirmed, but I think, the price can be the same. I think they're just trying to shift units before their next SKU drops because, it's been taken a lot longer to get their 10 nanometer rolling out into a state that's actually, desirable for consumers.
Yeah.
Because they're
10
shipping it.
10
Yeah.
nanometer also has like really crappy clocks if you look at Ice Lake. So
Yeah, like it's in laptops currently, I believe.
well, yeah, but even compared to like Whiskey Lake or Amber Lake and laptops, 14
Hey.
nanometer Skylake derived core, it's not so hot.
Yeah. I'm not sure who's going to be buying the KS, especially with Ryzen 3000. Like, I don't know why you'd get if you were in the market right now for a computer, a full computer, I don't know why you'd buy the KS over a 3700X, to be honest. Obviously, the K is probably not going to be, like, obviously buying a KS over a K would make sense because they're probably going to be the same price, and why not? But
I mean, Ryzen still does, Intel still does better for gaming than Ryzen does. Like, it's not much, but if you want the absolute best of the best and you don't really do anything except play video games, obviously Ryzen wins. But like for very niche situations, it is the best CPU.
yeah, no, like it is definitely better in terms of performance, but it is quite a bit more expensive. So if you're building a full system, I do think that the benefit of spending that extra, like nearly $200 on just the CPU is a bit harder to justify unless you're going like $5,000 or $3,000 system.
Yeah, the thing with the KS that I don't get though is that it doesn't really need to exist. Like, it needs to exist because Intel needs to have a high-end, not really high-end, but like high-end mainstream processor for this year. But they've also got, like, allegedly anyway, they've got 10-core Comet Lake that's coming out, which is just 2 more cores than the 9900K, because why not?
Yeah.
But also the fact that the single-core turbo boost, or the all-core turbo boost, is 5 gigahertz, but you can do that on a 9900K. Most motherboards will do that on a 9900K because they all come with multi-core enhancement turned on, which just runs all cores at the single-core boost.
No, they don't. At least so I know amongst us as well, we all tend to buy the same motherboard SKU. Friends of mine as well have also bought the same motherboard and CPU. No, multi-core enhancement was not enabled for me by default.
Oh, really?
I did not have a new, like, the BIOS wasn't like an updated BIOS as well. It was the one that shipped out on release of the 9900K.
Well, if I remember correctly,
we all
that was
got gigabyte motherboards though.
well because Asus was initially shipping out their motherboards with the multi-core enhancement enabled, and then they got in trouble. I think there was a lawsuit or something.
Yeah, that actually was.
Wait,
Intel
really?
sued them?
No,
Wait,
I don't
what?
think it was Intel, but I think it was a class action lawsuit because it's a completely not advertised. I mean, weirdly, it's the other end of like false advertisement. You
Sorry,
actually,
there's a cat on my lap.
Pet the
It's
cat
like
nicely.
it's almost like the
Yeah.
other end of false advertisement. I don't want to say it. This is going to sound really bad. You're getting more than what you paid for in a weird way, but you're just not getting what you paid for.
No, okay. So basically, what it came down to is because the different motherboard manufacturers have a different implementation scheme for their multi-core enhancement, and with the Asus motherboard, when they enabled the multi-core enhancement by default, it just made it seem like from the benchmarkers and the reviews, get the Asus motherboards because it is going to perform better than all of the other motherboards.
Which
Yeah,
is why they have it on by default.
Right, but because of that, it was the multi-core enhancement. It basically locks all the cores at full frequency or full turbo frequency, rather than just boosting occasionally. So you are getting better performance by having that on by default. And everybody who bought a not Asus motherboard got really mad, and a lot of reviewers got in trouble because they did not verify that multi-core enhancement was either enabled and or disabled. So
Well, I wouldn't say anyone who didn't buy it got very mad. I think it was found out very quickly.
it was.
I
It was
would
like,
actually
it was
be
like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that.
Actually, I'm thinking about something I was talking about yesterday. Gigabyte, and I don't remember which motherboard it was at all, but it was a recent Intel motherboard. Apparently, in like a beta review BIOS, they had not only did they have multi-core enhancement turned on, they also had that option like hidden, so you couldn't access it to turn it off. Which means it was just on, and everybody with that Gigabyte board was getting weirdly high scores in like benchmarks and whatnot. And they suspiciously lined up with everybody else with multi-core enhancement turned on.
I'm guessing that must be X299 or something, because I just updated to a beta BIOS on my Z390 and I didn't see anything like that.
Well, pre-release
Enabled.
beta BIOS, not like
Oh, okay.
release BIOS and it's a beta build after launch or something.
Okay, yeah. No, it was like beta build from Gigabyte type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I would be kind of interested because I know almost all 9900Ks do hit 5 gigahertz all core, but I would be interested if there's that rare guy that bought a 9900K and an Asus Z390 motherboard, plonked it in, and because obviously multi-core enhancement's enabled by default, he just gets blue screens or it just looks super unstable and he's not aware of said multi-core enhancement and he thinks he's got a faulty CPU or motherboard.
Yeah.
Is
That
Intel
must have
doing
happened.
is Intel doing favored core on their mainstream platform yet? I know they've like talked it up
Favored?
with so basically there's like 1 or 2 cores that can boost extra high, and those are the ones that are prioritized for boost because they're just like it's slightly better silicon within that one core.
I mean, maybe they do single core boost if that's what you mean.
Well, right. But does it treat all cores equally? Because I imagine that if all 8 cores individually can hit 5 gigahertz, then if all 8 cores individually can hit 5 gigahertz, then there is no reason, barring like VRMs just not being sufficient, for all 8 of them to hit it simultaneously. At least as far as I understand it, I don't see any reason that should happen.
It might have the wrong voltage tables. I don't know. Or it just might be I don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah. It might, I don't know, it just might be a voltage thing, or it just might be temperature thing even. I mean, 9900Ks don't exactly run very cold.
Yeah, right.
Mm,
That thick layer of thermal interface.
yeah, toothpaste.
Yeah, they
Toothpaste.
stim, I think they called it. Yeah, it's not the best. I have
Yeah.
still yet to delid mine, and it's been
Yeah, I still
like six months. Thank you, Chris. Okay. So even though you said the 9900KS is quite boring, well, actually, it is kind of a boring thing, but there is Cascade Lake-X coming out. Well, I don't know when, but basically it's been announced.
next month. It's next month.
Oh, that's quite soon. and they're promising a 1.74 to a 2.09, very specific price per dollar, relative price per dollar performance increase, which I think to everyone screams we're cutting the costs or the price of our CPU massively. And they want people to kind of go, wow, you're going to have a CPU performing much higher, because they've obviously included Threadripper there as well.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up something from Serve the Home, because they did an analysis on like price versus cores between Cascade Lake SP and Skylake SP for data centers. And basically they found that at the same price point for like the cheaper Xeon Bronze, Xeon Silver, you were getting something like 4 more cores and a few hundred megahertz extra and like a very, very large amount of cache to go with it. But for the same price, so you're getting like 50% more CPU than you were before. And I'm not really sure if that's just it's yielding better, or if Intel's like, crap, AMD's scary now. We got to do something about this.
I think that might be more likely, honestly.
Yeah. Let's see. What's a good one? 7-zip compression. The Gold 5218 scores about 60,000, and the Gold 5120, the previous generation, scores like 45,000. So that's like a 30% boost in this one benchmark, which I would expect to see like similar gains per dollar across the board for Cascade Lake-X. I am really curious if Intel is going to go beyond 18 cores or not. If they're going to like follow suit like AMD did with 32-core Threadripper that just kind of came out of nowhere. Because they've got the 28-core die, and I am fairly sure that they can fit it on the LGA 2066 package. I don't see why they can't, because they fit similarly sized dies on like LGA 2011.
So it's using LGA 2066, so that means it's going to be compatible with X299 boards,
yes,
BIOSes, and
pending BIOS updates. The other fancy new feature that it's getting, they have 48 PCI Express lanes instead of 44. Rejoice!
Oh, nice.
Because the Silicon had 48 lanes all along. 4 of them were just disabled in Skylake-X for I don't know what reasons. Or 20 of them for the sub $1,000 Skylake-X chips. Again, for whatever reason.
I mean, I would just really like to see Intel and AMD kind of offer a I don't know. These kind of started out like the X99 really, and I mean this could also be down to or go back to Nehalem with the LGA 1366, was it, or 1368?
Yeah.
These were the enthusiast platforms that have just priced themselves completely out of enthusiast ballpark, because the 9900K is a better gaming CPU than X299 has. It's also newer in terms of the architecture. Well, currently, not Cascade Lake-X, and it's cheaper. Like, do you think they're going to go back to where their actual enthusiast platform, the big LGA 2066 or whatever it may be in the future, is going to be the one launching the new tech with the new features? It's sort of, you can pay a bit extra to have this new feature that's not really ready for the consumer platform.
Yeah. I don't think so. And I say that mainly because like high-end desktop server enthusiast platform has been lagging behind the mainstream. Because like, remember, Haswell came out in 2013, didn't it? Haswell E was 2014. Broadwell came out in 2014. It actually hit mass market in 2015, but it didn't really come out for HEDT and server until 2016. Skylake was 2015. Skylake SP didn't even hit like mass market until 2017. So Intel's like using the new architecture on client platforms first, mainly mobile stuff first. Like we're seeing with Ice Lake right now. It's quad core only, and it's a mobile part only. There's no desktop part for it just yet. Broadwell was the same way. That was the first 14 nanometer part. We only saw it in the Core M to start with. But that was a brand new core. That was a brand new process. And it was small, and it was for laptops.
So, regardless of whether it's AMD or Intel, would you actually, because I know you quite like some interesting and unique features, like the L4 cache.
Yeah, I got
On
a
a CPU.
5775C.
Would you pay, or would you actually go for a X299, X399, X499, or whatever platform or Threadripper, etc., to have those unique features that maybe aren't ready for the consumers if they did it?
Dude, if you got me like X299 with L4 cache, I would be very excited and would buy it and would upgrade.
Okay, no, what I'm trying to say is, do you think that they actually are? Do you think they haven't done this because that, like, demoing, if you will, PCIe 5.0 or, you know, not NVMe, but essentially new technologies on that platform just didn't make the money? So, no, I'm just wondering why they kind of went from being the first to launch to the last to launch.
Actually, that's a good question. I mean, I would say that it wasn't really until LGA 1156. That was a year after X58. It wasn't really until that Intel had like separate. This is a server enthusiast platform. This is a mainstream platform. Because before that, like, yes, there were separate Xeon and like Core sockets, but it's pretty much the same damn socket. You just like cut a few bits off the CPU, you rotate it 90 degrees, and you stick a sticker on it, and you can use it. Like pen mods for LGA 771 Xeons. That's a fun thing. Where's I going with this? Hang on.
That's a great question.
Oh, right.
You don't remember? It's okay.
Shut up. No. So 1156 introduced like the first Intel CPUs that had onboard graphics. And then that kind of just became that thing. They had a lot less I/O, like one less memory channel, a buttload less PCI Express. But they were smaller, they ran cooler, they had integrated graphics, and it was very much a mobile-oriented platform. So, as for why the timing changed, I guess because Intel's just been pushing the bleeding edge with regard to fab, and that's kind of hard to do with big old server dies. So,
yeah, makes sense. On to more, I suppose, gaming-relevant news. Asus.
We need to stop Chris from autisming. That's not very nice.
Yes.
What?
Right. Okay. So Asus is actually are they releasing it or is it released? I think it's going to be released. They are demoing a 300 hertz gaming laptop panel.
What?
Yeah, it's got think 300 hertz. Obviously, it's TN. They had to work with panel manufacturers, and they don't even want to release the details of how they did this because it's so sort of trade secret to get that extra 60 hertz, 240 to 300 hertz. And they're demoing it in a laptop. Kat, as a certified gamer girl.
Yeah, what's up?
What is your take on this? Do you really think it's worth all the extra sort of cost and effort to have the first 300 hertz gaming panel? Do you think it's worth that extra 30? I mean,
hell
60?
no. Hell nah.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Kat, what if you want to do like trick jumps in COD 4, or what if you want to play Counter-Strike really?
I don't.
But it's 10 times what the human eye can see.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right, you.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm the type of person, because remember when I was like talking to you about when I got my new monitor?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed like a difference because I went from something that was like crap to like what I have now, which isn't even that great. But like when I'll go to like the store and I'll look at other monitors, right? Obviously ones that are way more expensive than mine. And I just don't notice a difference. Don't notice a difference.
Yeah.
So that's just me. Yeah. I feel like you would.
I did notice a big difference between my 60 hertz Dell panel and my 160 something hertz Asus panel. But I think like 240 hertz and beyond, you're kind of getting into the diminishing returns, especially with how much extra sort of money and tech goes into developing panels.
Yeah, and then how much is that? How much is it going to cost? Like, how much is that laptop going to cost? Do you think?
Way too much.
way too much money for when it's gonna be like outdated in like 6 months after you buy it anyways.
Okay, so my big thought on this is, well, first of all, I'm theorizing that it is just an overclocked like 240 hertz panel, like what we're already seeing on the market. So there's that. First of all, I'm not expecting the thing to be that durable, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense on a laptop. And
can you hear my cat playing with a toy?
Yes. Wonderful.
Okay, so sorry.
No. I mean, it's just. I mean, the tech is cool and all, but really, unless it's like a 1080p panel, which is what I'm assuming it is.
Yes.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, you're barely going to be seeing games that are going to be pushing that 300 hertz.
Got to turn them on low.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, okay, for CSGO, maybe. If you've got the top end Intel laptop CPU, and then maybe what was that concept? It wasn't even a concept. It was the dual 2080 SLI laptop. So
the MSI Titan?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I want one of those because it's got a keyboard.
I mean, I think the tech is cool from just a monitor technology perspective, but from laptop perspective, I don't understand what the point is.
Pricing for this, the Triton 500. Oh wait, that's actually from Acer. Never mind. Acer is making another 300 hertz monitor laptop of their own. That is starting at $2,800. Skimming through the specs on this. There's not really any details, but I would expect it's kind of the same kind of like high-end RTX, buttload of RAM, good like i7, i9 CPU. So probably $3,000-$4,000 for the Asus one as well.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody that has a gaming laptop that actually games on it, because anybody I know that has one has a desktop that they game on.
Yeah.
You know.
This laptop has a 2080 i7, and the current version of that 2080 and i7 is $3,300.
Right.
Whew.
Yeah, 16 gigs of RAM, etc.
So you're maybe spending anywhere from like $4,500 to like $5,500 on this thing at a minimum.
No, I think it's going to be the exact same price. I think it's still going to be $3,300, to be honest with you.
I don't think so, only because, holy cow, we have that first 300 hertz laptop premium.
Well, again, Acer has one launching as well. Sorry, Alex, what did you say the prices were for just the CPU and GPU?
Wait, what? Do you mean?
You said $3,300. What was that referring to?
It was
$3,300. So that's with an i7 9750H.
Yes.
And a RTX 2080. It doesn't say if it's the Max Q or Max P. It just says 28.
Oh, okay. So that's for like a standard non-300 hertz laptop.
Yes. Essentially, this laptop is the exact same as the laptop,
just a new
which
panel.
I'm quoting. New panel. Yeah. So it's drop-in new panel. That's why I think they're going to offer it at probably the same-ish price, maybe like $3,500. But I suppose it is probably a tech demo thing. Like also Asus has a pretty interesting, I think they're only making like 300 to 500 of them, where they have that laptop that's more like a portable computer, where the computer is in where the screen is, and it kind of has a kickstand and a screen that comes out, and it's got very beefy specs and runs very cool because there's no surface that the fans are trying to draw air from. Like there's just unrestricted airflow. That was demoed, and it's made of like all aluminium and stuff, and that was like, that's their top end stuff. I don't think they're going to charge crazy for this.
Yeah, speaking of tech demo, bring back Razer Project Valerie from last episode.
Is that the
triple monitor one?
Oh, right. Not the toaster. Okay.
No, it's not the toaster.
Actually, speaking of weird tech demos, was it Razer or Corsair who had like the modular oil gaming PC a few years ago?
Oh yeah, that thing was awesome.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
That was Razer. Yeah. I remember that.
Okay.
It started with a C. It was like Project. Hang on, Razer.
There are several words that come to mind, but
it was a feminine name. I don't know. Razer Project Oil Cool. We'll just go there.
Yeah. No. But I like it as a concept.
Christine.
Oh,
I was right.
I liked it as a concept because it was like this weird, like super sci-fi. You have these elliptical modules that you just plug in and it magically works. So it was basically like a PCI Express like interconnect with the various modules, and then it was just 2 like quick disconnects on the modules themselves. I thought it was great.
The problem is you're just locked down to this proprietary form factor. It's oil cool, which has its own host of problems, and also like, wow, I could buy a GPU for $200 for my desktop. $500.
But you miss the perfect opportunity, which is somebody would get their hands on it. They would just crack open the GPU module and then figure out if it was like that weird like what's that modular form factor?
MXM?
It might be MXM, but do like an MXM to 16x PCI Express, and then just jam a regular ass GPU into that thing, but still make it look kind of interesting.
Wow, I really hate that idea.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
I don't know where to start.
Then don't start. We don't want to get you started.
Just don't start it. Just stop. Just quit while you're ahead, Chris. Good job.
All right, fine. I don't have to be here.
Okay.
I would leave the channel, but I don't know.
Okay. So also Acer, not Asus. Acer is also doing a 300 hertz panel. Different panel size. I don't know if they're working with the same manufacturer for their TN panel, but they're also demoed a 300 hertz laptop.
What's the point though? Would you buy one?
EP.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Just pure EP.
I genuinely think between that and I think this is more just kind of look what we can do. Like this grabs the attention of Acer, and people then buy other Acer. It's just advertising, and I think also they just want to invest money into this to how to distinguish themselves from their competitors. Basically,
I want some OLED monitors. Invest in that.
People have been asking for that for a really long time, and I think especially like it's quite popular in TVs, and I think manufacturers
it's getting
do know
more
that.
popular in TVs.
Okay,
now.
so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah,
only for the fact that just looking at my phone right now, where I see the burn in from Google Maps, and then looking at my smartwatch where I have the burn in from the clock face.
What phone do you have?
I have a Galaxy S8.
Yeah, that's why. That happened on my Galaxy too.
But it's still it's AMOLED.
It's OLED.
Right. And OLED has a tendency to burn in like
I know. They need to fix that, yo.
And think about what people are going to do with these laptops. They want the best picture quality possible. And on an OLED, the best way to get that full HDR range is to crank up the brightness. So you have a perfect candidate of a device that will be burning in a lot quicker than most, or like similar rate to a phone.
Yeah.
And especially on a desktop environment.
On a phone, it shouldn't happen. When it happened on my phone, my brother was like, "Yeah, that shouldn't happen. That's not for the S8. It shouldn't happen." But it happened on my phone.
But that's just a matter of if your brightness slider goes into that little red part of the meter, it'll burn in. Or if you have the auto dimming, it goes into that automatically with like no limits. So
hot take, plasma should come back.
No.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you go into if you go into your phone carrier, they often have, demo phones there. And just look at all the OLED phones. They're really easy to spot because you'll just notice where the time shows, where the apps show, they're just terribly burnt in.
Really? I don't look at phones like that.
So I know the iPhone X, XS, XS Plus, etc. have a very aggressive screensaver time. It's like 30 seconds in the stores just to try and avoid that. And even then, they still burn in kind of quickly.
Yep.
Could you imagine a laptop or just a desktop with an OLED screen? I mean, the Windows icon, people have that there for hours and hours a day. That's going to get burnt in.
Yeah, that's why I auto hide the taskbar, idiot.
No, but you have to, you can't make I don't think you can make a display consumer friendly with a whole bunch of caveats. Like you need to change how you use a computer. People won't accept that.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing actually, I don't even think that's the biggest reason why they haven't brought it in. I think the biggest reason why they haven't brought it in is probably cost, just cost of quality control on a panel that big.
Yeah.
I think phones, maybe they can do it or monitor it or have quality control a lot cheaper or better because the size of it. And maybe TVs, there's actually an audience that will pay like $20,000 for a TV.
I don't think it's even that on the phones. It's the fact that, I mean, I know the statistic just changed earlier this year, but the average time to replace on a phone is either a year to 2 years. So by the time that I mean, and this is mainly for like the high-end model phones. I'm not talking about like the J3 or whatever the cheaper Samsung models are. I mean, like on the higher end models.
I had one of those. They suck.
Exactly. Right. But a lot of these people who are getting these high-end devices, they're more willing to replace them. Oh, my screen's going bad. It is time to get a whole new Galaxy S10 Plus because this is nice. True, though. And then with a laptop, I mean, we can just your oldest laptop that you own. How old is it?
Ooh, do you really want to know? So my
the oldest one
that you still use.
Yes, that I still use. Although very infrequently, it has an Athlon CPU.
Boy.
Oh, no, it's not Athlon. It's Athlon based. It's Bobcat.
Yes, it's this
the
one.
tablet thing. I can't remember the name of it. It's the Acer Iconia W501.
It's like the C50 APU or something, like the very first gen. God, those were awful.
I know. I thought, because this was I think before an iPad came out. I was like, this is so cool for school, because I had this during school. No, I'm not joking. And I was like, I am going to be so. The bezels are like 3 inches big. It was horrible. It couldn't run like Word because it had 512 megs of RAM. It was just bad.
Yeah.
But okay, I barely use that. Like I very, very infrequently use it. The main laptop that I use currently is a Surface Book, and that's 2014, 2015?
Yeah,
which is still old in terms of phone. Like if you were to think about that.
Trying to think. My laptop is a Chromebook that I stuck third-party custom firmware on so I could get Linux crap. Haswell i3, circa 2014, I think. And the only reason I have that is because I accidentally broke my previous laptop, which came shipped with a Turion 2, which is like a Phenom 2, but for laptops only. So I would absolutely be using that. I love that thing. The keyboard on that was great. But yeah, no, I had to upgrade because I'm a moron. So yeah,
we know.
Yeah, shut up, Mom.
You don't have to state that.
Shut up, Mom. This is child abuse.
I am. Yeah, there's also a thing with phones as well in terms of the OLEDs. Sorry, just bring it back to the Samsung thing. You said you had a S something or another with the OLED panel, Kat.
The S8.
Did you ever have pixels die on you?
On that phone, no.
Yeah.
No.
On any other phone? Samsung phone?
I think that was before my first Samsung phone. No, I had the J3.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I don't have I never had any dead pixels on any phone.
Yeah, I have a friend who had a S8, and he had, apparently it's notorious for some pixels to just turn green, essentially die on the OLED panel.
What?
Yeah.
On what one?
The S8.
Okay.
Was it the S7? It was either S8 or S7, but pixels would die and just turn green, and it was quite a common problem. I remember going with him to Samsung, and we kind of, like, this was a known, what's the word when, it's like a known defect, essentially.
Yeah.
And he went there and you're like, okay, my phone's still under warranty and whatever. The pixels, there's like 8 dead pixels on this thing. Can we repair this, or can you just give me a new phone? Essentially, like, this is under warranty. They denied him the warranty because he had a scratch on the side of the phone.
Wait,
not even
what?
the screen.
Yeah, not even the screen. It was on the side, like the fake metal plastic going around the phone.
Stop.
No, I'm deadly serious. It's because they were like, oh yeah, the scratch means you could have dropped it, which means you could have broken the screen, and it could have been.
That's not how drops break screens.
I know. This is like one of the few times I was in a store with him, and I overheard, and genuinely actually just like laughed quite loudly about this, and I was like, oh, that's yeah.
I do not bother with warranties for that kind of reason. It's just not worth it.
What I'm going on also is, you said like people on that high end, like I suppose even high end S8 Plus or Note, whatever, replace their phone every 1 to 2 years. I wonder how many of them even bother with warranties for that, or how many of them just get denied because of stupid, like your warranty is void if X, like if there's a scratch on the side.
Mine was under warranty. Do you remember like last summer my phone bricked during a software update and I couldn't turn it on? I was so pissed. But yeah, they didn't give me any issues with that. But I've had other phones in the past where I've had to like do a warranty claim because something broke, and I never had any issues.
Yeah, I've heard OnePlus is very good with warranties, actually, with phones.
OnePlus. I wonder how Google is, but I don't think I got the warranty for my phone.
I would totally transition to a OnePlus if they had an SD card slot.
I really hate OnePlus's name. It sounds like a model of a phone, and it just messes with my head.
Oh wait, the OnePlus doesn't have the SD card slot.
No, it does not.
No, it doesn't.
I can forgive them for the lack of a headphone jack, just because I've kind of accepted my fate at this point.
Oh god, I hate the lack of the headphone jack. I like it so much.
I don't mind. I'm like the only person that doesn't mind.
You don't mind.
Well, there's a lot of times where I have to charge my phone and listen to music at the same time, or I'm using my phone to listen, like when I'm at work and stuff, right?
Exactly.
And I don't like none of the adapters. Like they're so like finicky.
So you don't have the iPhone adapter is very good.
What?
Okay, let me spend
but how much does it cost? How much does it cost?
Last I checked, they might have changed the price on it. Last I checked, it was very cheap.
No. Like I have
Alex?
I have like the Google adapter for the USB 3.0 to the audio thing, but like I'm talking about one where like you can have both in, like to charge it and to listen to music.
So the iPhone Lightning to 3.5mm adapter, that's including a DAC, is 10 Canadian dollars.
Wow, that's like 10 Canadian dollars more than I should have to spend, which is why I have a S.
Which is like $8 US dollars, $7 US dollars. No, like, look, I'm not saying it's better than not having a 3.5mm jack, but at least they aren't making it, $50 or something, and it is still as good quality as the DAC originally was. I don't find an issue with it until you need to charge your phone. And
then but I charge my phone and listen at the same time.
Yeah, yes. I haven't run into it, obviously, because I don't have a new phone. But also the phone, any earphones I use with my phone are Bluetooth, which is
see, I don't do that.
Okay, that's
do
how
that thing.
You operate. Okay.
I could. That would probably be like smart for me to do at work, but
I think that's also what they want you to kind of go towards.
Yeah, they kind of want me to like be more like do like the wireless crap.
They want you to spend money, basically.
I refuse to do the earphones. They are dumb and bad.
I would get them if they weren't $200.
Yes, exactly. Dumb and bad.
They're not bad. They're just badly priced.
Yes, which makes them bad.
I mean, kind of.
I'm not going to spend $200 on earphones, Alex. I'm going to spend like 20 or 50 if they're really good earphones. I'm not going to get really good wireless earphones at that price.
Yeah, you have a very different standard of good.
I don't like the Apple,
I can get
earbuds, the Apple earbuds or whatever.
Oh god, those are the worst. They hurt my ears when they're in. They hurt my ears. It's hard plastic.
Yeah, they're too big for my small, tiny ears, and I would probably lose them.
Oh
my god, this cat.
Yeah, what I don't like is they either fit you or they don't. They fit me, so I'm lucky in that regard.
That's just too far away from me.
Pet the cat.
But yeah. Moving on to more tech stuff rather than AirPods.
Yeah.
Wow, that's tech stuff, Alex.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, that's me.
YMTC is starting volume production of 64-layered 3D NAND. So, they started production of a 64-layer 3D NAND memory that is using its proprietary architecture, essentially. Sorry. This just will allow faster and higher capacity NAND, which is good for SSDs, obviously, which I believe they are targeting mobile applications at the moment. And they're just basically promising higher density, faster I/O, and decreased die size, hence targeting mobile, because space is a premium in a phone these days. Well, it's always been, really. But yeah, there's not much more than that other than them demoing it. They don't have any confirmed sort of numbers or guesstimate of numbers, but it is much larger than what we currently have. It's in terms of like layered amounts.
Nah, we got 96 layer.
Do we?
Yeah. I think 128 layer is being demoed.
Well, then this company is being very over generous of their wording.
Yeah, like it's pretty typical 3D NAND. Like there's nothing really special about it. The bigger implications here, like economic, geo, whatever, because hey, China's got in-house semiconductor manufacturing now. Like South Korea or Japan or the United States or whoever else. I don't. Taiwan. That's Taiwan and China. Well.
Yeah. They're just basically saying features of 256 gigabyte capacity. Everything else is unknown. Yeah. But it's actually good to have competition in this, especially. RAM prices being what they are and SSDs being what they are. I'm very excited for the day that when we can actually say goodbye to hard drives.
I already have.
An all SSD storage would be very, very cool.
Yeah, but hang on. My desktop right now, I've actually got all of my drives in my C drive, which is a Samsung 970 Evo. We've got my O drive, which is just an Optane drive. And I've got my Z drive, which is an old. And I've got a DVD drive.
Repeat that.
SSD, different SSD, Optane, and a DVD drive.
Okay.
There's no spinning rust. It's funny though because HDDs are just bad. Like outside of
no. Well, no. So listen, what I mean is, so I also have all SSD in my computer, right? But my server, there's no way in hell I can justify 8 terabytes of solid state drives.
Yeah,
loud,
insane for the cost.
Yeah,
I would be quite excited when you can basically get a 4 terabyte SSD within the ballpark range of a 4 terabyte hard drive. Because right now, 4 terabyte SSDs are a little bit expensive.
Pretty recently, the Intel 660p, the QLC drive, 2 terabyte went on sale for $175. So that's like.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That's under $90 a terabyte. Like that's very good.
Yeah, they definitely have made great advancements in the past 2 years. But anyway, there's a lot more off-topic news this time than last time.
Wonderful!
I like off-topic news.
Off-topic is the best topic.
Yeah, bro.
So, Apple, again, is showing more of their autonomous cars. A lot of electric car news has been coming out recently.
Oh, no. I don't want to hear this.
So, Apple has been spotted, I suppose, demoing a all-camera car. This kind of falls in line with what Elon Musk said about, how he said with regards to a lot of people have said, like, how are we going to do autonomous cars with bad conditions, snow, big potholes or whatever? And he said, cameras are the only real way we can do this. It can read signs, it can predict, a child running across much better than LiDAR. Apple has been seen sort of demoing or trying out an all-camera car. They just plonked onto a Lexus RX 350, I think.
Why are people so lazy that they can't just drive?
I'd rather have autonomous cars than idiots on their phones just driving into people.
Yes, I really think autonomous cars.
Oh, you mean like me when I drive? Except I don't run into people. Except I did once when I was on my phone.
Oh my gosh. All right, thanks for proving the points.
All right, so what's the statute of limitations on that?
Okay.
What?
Anyway,
If
We're
she's been
good.
convicted, it's fine.
It was just a little fender bender, guys. All right, my car got
Oh,
messed up
okay.
more than the other person's car.
Okay, you hit a
Yeah,
car.
I
I
had
thought
to
you
pay.
hit like a pedestrian.
No.
I was gonna say my big thing with the autonomous car movement though is like the further we get into autonomous cars, I still want to make sure that people who want to drive still have the ability to drive. But
Yes.
it's just it's like the problem is that there's going to be a lot of idiots who or poor people who cannot afford these magical autonomous cars. So it's just going to make more of a fiasco out of these autonomous cars who can't react to idiots.
Simmons, I'm sorry, you said idiots and poor people.
I made sure to differentiate between the two.
So, yeah, I actually the sort of the implementation of this autonomous driving technology I'm most excited for is actually in buses and trains and Uber.
Yeah,
I think that
100%.
would be really cool. And I know it's really,
Yeah.
unfortunate for train conductors and bus drivers and Uber drivers and taxis, but I really think that people would be a lot more confident almost getting in an autonomous car than some random Uber driver, especially if it's
I wouldn't be.
you would be if the technology has been around for a while, not if it's brand
Yeah.
new, but if it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
around for 5
Like
years.
maybe, I was gonna say maybe in like 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, and I think they could probably reduce the rates as well. And
They won't.
okay,
They could, but won't.
yeah,
Private
And-
company, no. Public transportation, sure. But
yeah,
like,
and hopefully can increase the quality of Uber drivers on the
Yeah.
road.
yeah, there's a lot of creepy stories out there for like Uber, and I've never used it because I don't leave my basement. But no, there's like stories where people have like gotten in and somebody had the child safety lock on, so you can only open the door from the outside.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or like really weird dudes driving like miles and miles out of the way, and like the most charitable thing you can say is, oh, they're just really sketchy and trying to make it a long drive so they can get the rates up. The
that's
other
not how it
options
works,
are
though. It's a fixed
Yeah.
rate. Like I've
Oh,
used
is
it
it?
actually. Yeah, I've used it quite a lot. And I mean, in Canada, they've been very good. I've only had like 2 bad experiences, I'd say, with Uber, but in general, they're very good. But I have never taken it at like I've taken it late at night, probably 3 or 4 times, and actually late at night they've been better than during the day.
Yeah, did you get stabbed?
No,
Oh, okay, that's good.
It's Toronto. Let's be honest.
Yeah, don't get stabbed.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So, off of the back of autonomous car news, Porsche has also announced a Taycan.
Taycan.
Taycan, thank you.
Or
So
Taycan.
Taycan, there we go. So, a Taycan and a Taycan Turbo S.
Those are
despite
really
the
dumb
names-
names.
Yeah, despite the names, they don't have turbochargers. They are all electric sedans, flagship sedans for Porsche's upcoming all-electric lineup. They're going to have, 750 horsepower thereabouts, 774 foot-pounds of torque, about
That's on
250.
overboost.
Thank you. And about 256 miles of range, which is, I mean, that's not long distance driving really, but these really I can see being driven by people who they just want a Porsche, but they also have to have a car with 4 doors.
How much is it? I always ask how much it
Actually-
is. How much is it?
It's quite a lot of money. So you might be able to get one of your benefactors to buy you one, but it's a
What are my
180.
benefactors?
It's 180.
You need to find a sugar daddy, yo.
Yes, it's
I mean,
187.
don't we all?
Right.
It's $187,000.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes. So
That's the
the
Turbo S model. The regular Turbo model is 150,000, I think. So it is quite a bit cheaper.
Oh God.
For
Foxy's
reference,
trying to play with my mic. Nope, she just grabbed it.
So actually, regarding the range, that's actually fairly reasonable. Like 260 to 280 miles on that. Like that's mid-range Tesla Model 3. So
yes, but so a little bit of a really, not really weird, but a little bit of a weird way to look at it as well as like a mobile phone. You know, you can say charge time is 8 hours or whatever, but you never have your phone 100% all the time.
yeah.
So you're going to be like hopping between work and the shopping mall or whatever. So I don't think you'll have this at 100% unless you start your day out, because they do take a while to charge if you don't want to do the quick charge.
Yeah, plug it in overnight.
Yeah, but I do think you have to look at like, you can't do long distance journeys still. It's still normal electric car weighs 5,000 pounds. It's really heavy.
Yeah.
It's not meant for like, it's meant for mainly city, intercity, or just city driving really.
Oh, actually, Porsche developed an 800-volt charging system specifically for the Taycan. With it, Porsche says that juicing the battery pack from 5% to 80% just takes 22 and a half minutes, ideally.
Oh, wow.
Ideal situations is a bit of a disclaimer, though, because
Temperature.
Batteries don't like hot temperatures or cold temperatures.
Yeah.
I mean, electronics don't like hot temperatures in general.
A little bit of an interesting thing. I know with the CAFE or the California emissions, a lot of manufacturers are being forced to introduce electric cars into their lineup.
Yep.
And they won't sell them outside of hot or warm climates because they don't, or they haven't built in, or they don't even offer a battery warmer for these cars. Because places like Canada or New York or Missouri, where's Missouri? Isn't that in the north?
No.
Missouri's just like, isn't it in the middle?
Missouri is to my
Very
west.
bad. Sorry, but
Isn't
basically,
Our
it-
resident Canadian tries to tell us geography.
I know.
basically, countries that see a lot of snow and cold temperatures, they do
Like
not
Missouri.
offer it. Shush. They do not offer it because I'm assuming, I think safely, these batteries will not stand up to the cold temperatures because they don't offer battery heaters,
Yeah.
or they're not able to keep them in the cold. Like, I would really like to know how keeping an electric car that hasn't really been designed for like Canadian winters, because not everyone, but a vast majority of people park their cars on their driveways, and it can get
Mhm.
-30 at night, tons of wind. What does that do to the battery? Because I know my iPhone's battery, when I was foolish enough to kind of leave it out in the snow, that absolutely destroyed the battery life. Like
Yeah.
the battery
Permanently?
health. Yeah, permanently. The
Yeah.
battery health went from 90-something% to 70% in about 1 month.
It had to have done something to the chemical composition of the battery.
But what I'm saying is, like, how detrimental is that to Canadians then, in that kind of cold climate?
So
Are we going to see 5-year-old Porsche Taycan, or just 5-year-old electric cars with a complete fraction of the mileage?
I don't think that's been an issue because Teslas have been out for quite a while now, and you don't really hear stories of Teslas having very limited range because of it being in cold climates.
Well, Teslas also compensate for it.
Thanks,
Nice cow.
cat.
I love your cat.
She's being so annoying tonight.
no, this is
Pet her. She's wonderful.
Yes, pet the cat. Porsche's obviously going to take this around the Nürburgring, and
No, they already have, haven't they?
have they? I haven't seen time for it. But anyway, Elon Musk is also issued a tweet saying he will take the Tesla Model S around the Nürburgring somehow. That was last week. He said he's doing it this week. The Nürburgring officials have said they haven't been contacted by Mr. Musk. So we'll see where that goes, because previously they were unable to run it for it overheating batteries
The
and
Porsche
brakes.
has done a lap. It did it in 7 minutes and 42 seconds, which is
That's
I think a
faster than a
record.
Zonda,
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
isn't it? I'm
No,
pretty sure like the original Zonda.
Oh, the
was-
original one, yeah. But the
Yeah.
the Zonda R did it in 7 minutes and 12 seconds, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. I think that's around GTR time as well. But anyway, it's quick.
Yes.
Despite its 5 tons of heft, it's quick.
But enough about me.
Thanks, Chris.
Wow. Okay.
It did break the record for the fastest all-electric sports car with 4 doors.
That's very specific.
Yes, that's what Nürburgring lap time records are these days. It's just very specific things.
Yeah.
So there's some very interesting news and coming out of Florida. Obviously, this hurricane.
Is it Florida Man?
It is, yes.
Story? Okay, let's hear it.
Obviously,
excited.
the hurricane coming through has got them quite on edge. So this Florida man thought that he he should throw a alligator through a drive-through window.
What?
Welcome to Florida.
No,
Florida Man.
You've got
Oh my god.
you're reading it wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, that's reference
No.
things. Like Florida
Oh.
Man does those sorts of things, like throwing
Yeah.
Alligators through drive-through windows. Or
sorry, is this not new? Oh no, it's
no,
not.
it's not.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so Wendy's can rest easy. They're not going to expect any.
Wendy's? I had Wendy's for dinner tonight. It was really good.
Thank
Shut up,
you.
you
did.
corporate shill. We only shill for AMD on this podcast.
AMD
Oh.
or Wendy's sponsorship, please.
Dude, Wendy's is the best, guys. Come on.
Wait,
let's go.
cat.
Come
You
on.
are in America. Have you had the Popeyes burger?
Oh, do you mean the chicken sandwich? Because it's not a
Duh.
burger.
Oh,
No,
Yeah,
I
the chicken
haven't.
burger.
I'm sorry,
The chicken- No, I haven't had it yet.
What are you doing with your life?
What? I've never had Popeyes before.
Oh, you
There's one
said
in-
for
Cat.
There's
what are
one
you
in my
doing with your
town.
life?
I don't fucking know, dude. I
You
guess
did,
it
We
yeah.
only get one of those an episode, Cat.
is. I'm sorry.
This is
You
what
should be.
I don't heckin' know.
see for Croc. This is why we don't take you on this podcast.
Anyway, Florida man, right? Florida man, a bit upset about Hurricane Dorian. Apparently, how it's going to hit Alabama, but we're not going to get into anything political here.
Hashtag Dotard Drumpf.
No.
Oh boy,
This is
here
a
we
good
go.
Alex,
Florida
you
Man
started it.
story.
I'm gonna strongly recommend that you bleep that out.
Actually, that'd be funnier if just loudly say something. So anyway, Florida man.
This is a good Florida Man story.
Chris,
It's a rare,
please.
wholesome one.
It is wholesome, Chris. Florida man. So,
Yeah.
I love wholesome. Let's go.
off the back of Hurricane Dorian, Florida man buys more than 100 generators to send to the Bahamas.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That was so awesome.
Alec, without an X, just
Alec Baldwin.
No,
It's not Alec
Now,
Baldwin.
Quebec.
I know.
It's Alec Sprague. Was at a
Sprague.
local Costco in Florida when he captured the moment a Good Samaritan purchased thousands of dollars worth of generators in his Crocs.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say thank you so much for clarifying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he is wearing Crocs.
Dude, the best bit is right. This is a middle-aged guy. He's got the that time of your life.
Dude,
when
at
you-
least his Crocs match his shirt or jacket
Yeah,
or
but,
whatever
like,
he's wearing, bro.
You know the time of life when you decide like I need to get a strap on my glasses because I keep losing them all over the place. You know, when
Yeah.
you've reached that age. But I like that he's still got the little decorative banana and apple and pear on his Crocs. You know, he's still got the fun midlife crisis going on there with his Crocs, which is
Yeah.
pretty nice to see.
Yeah, this guy's a dad.
Yes.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you,
absolutely.
Chris. Yeah, and his kids definitely. Anyway, he's rocking the dangerous Crocs. He doesn't have the strap over the back. You know, he's just whatever happens to the Crocs happens. But he bought more than 100 generators valued at $450 each to
Wow.
send to the Bahamas. I don't know how he's going to send it to the Bahamas. When he probably finds out the shipping, he's not going to send it to the Bahamas.
But he has all that money to buy all of them, so maybe he doesn't care.
Yeah, and honestly, you can get a bunch of stuff like that shipped on like a boat, like on a barge, for not as expensive as you might think.
But there's a bit of a hurricane in the way.
Oh yeah, that's a problem. It's
Well,
okay because the hurricane
There
the
was.
hurricane will go away, and then they can get aid to the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember, you can't get rid of the hurricane by shooting at it.
Oh yeah, that's bad. The bullets come right back.
That's not how. Yeah. That's not
No, but
how-
like it is pretty cool to see this. There will be ships sending aid and stuff like that, and 100 generators is. I'm sure that's pretty cool as well.
It really is.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure the state of it, but it definitely has caused a lot of damage to the Bahamas, and yeah, at least Alabama will be safe.
Yeah. Alex, I like how you spent this entire time talking about just being kind of rude at the man who dropped 50K on a bunch of generators.
I'm sorry.
He's a nice guy. I
No,
would
I'm
give
sorry.
him a hug. I'd give him a hug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Okay. Yes, fine. But the issue I have with this, sometimes is it's not really well thought through. Like, it's very impulsive. Like, I'm going to spend 50 grand and like I've done the good thing. But how am I going to get it there?
I mean,
Do they need it?
Maybe
Once
he thought
again-
about that already. You know.
yeah.
Okay. To be fair, the article doesn't elaborate other than
Of course
man
not.
bought 50K worth of generators. He could be lying. He could be running an underground.
He is buying all of those generators to fuel his Bitcoin mine.
Yeah. No. I mean, the same guy also actually purchased. It just said tons of food to send to the Bahamas. I'm sure Costco is very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. It's nice to see. At least he's not throwing alligators through Wendy's drive. So
Yeah. Right.
So there's one more Florida man story.
Oh, this is
Good.
another reference one because you're an idiot. It's quite old.
Oh no.
Do you know what? Then I'm going to speak about it anyway.
Yes,
No,
it's
you
worth
included-
speaking about.
You included it without saying it was a reference one, so I'm going to speak about it.
Alex, there's no link to it.
I know this is probably why it was a reference one.
Gosh.
Florida man taking on a different identity, a different look this time.
Oh no. Oh god.
He,
Okay.
He was quite upset that he couldn't buy his BMW with food stamps. So he decided to steal it instead.
Yeah.
Because,
Nice.
yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
as you do.
buying a car with food stamps, he must have saved up a lot of food stamps.
You can't buy cars with a food stamp.
Yes,
card.
That's why he stole it.
Only
Yeah,
if you.
But how dumb do you have to be? Like it says it's a food stamp card.
You would be surprised what people try to buy with food stamps.
I bet.
I mean, I know. I worked in a
Matter
grocery store, so I can.
I was gonna say, then you of all people should know
Yeah.
what people try to buy with food
Oh
stamps.
man, don't even get me started.
What is the stupidest thing you've seen then? Just some of the stupidest things you've seen.
Well, they have like there are certain things that you can't buy with food stamp cards, like
Alcohol, I'm
and
guessing.
they're pretty. Yeah.
that's
But
one.
there's like you can't buy like anything that's like hot and like ready to eat, right? Like that's one of the rules. I don't know why.
That
But-
kind of makes sense because
Yeah.
generally those things are very poor. value for
No,
money.
well, no, it's something to do with like the whole point of it is to like feed your family and not to like feed just
You.
yourself for like a meal. Yeah, I don't know.
What happens
I
if
don't
you
know. I
live
could
by
be wrong.
yourself?
I don't know.
SOL.
I don't know. But like you can't but you can't buy like cleaning supplies and stuff with them. And people would always try to do that.
But Windex looks just like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh
on the
my god.
on the flip side though, you can't buy a lot of produce.
Yeah,
with-
you can. I thought you could buy maybe not.
At least where I'm from, my
you live,
brother
yeah.
said that there was some like produce items that they could not get.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
weird.
Annoying.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know the logistics of it. I just worked at a grocery store.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So one thing I've also noticed coming to Canada is you guys don't have pies that much.
What?
Pies.
No. Okay, your definition of a pie is very different.
Okay, can you tell me what your pie is so that I know what a pie is?
Meat pie.
So I know you quite like pies, Kat, but
I
the
love
pie
pie.
the pie that I'm used to,
Blueberry
it's
pie.
a steak and kidney pie, or just a
What's
steak.
that? That's not a pie. That's like a thing.
See.
It-
That's
It's
the
like a pot
difference.
pie, like a pot pie, sort of. in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it is.
So
like-
you guys call it pot pie or New
Well-
Zealand pie?
Chicken pot pie is specifically what we're referring to, where it's like
It has like meat and vegetables and like creamy stuff and whatever in a pie shell. So it's like that, but it's like just savory stuff in a pie shell
yes.
and not like sweet, creamy stuff in a pie, like a cream
Yeah.
pie.
It was just kind of
It's
surprising.
like a chocolate cream pie. I love making those, man.
Yeah, those
I'm
are
sure you do.
Anyway,
I don't get it.
Yes. That's fine, Chris. Don't worry. Simmons, how's your Type R going?
I hate you.
Oh yeah, you bought one, didn't you? You got
No,
the
I have
brand
not
new
bought
Civic
one.
Type R.
Oh,
I have not bought a Type R yet.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few around. They're pretty nice. Sadly, you don't own any of them, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I mean,
Yeah, Simmons is poor. He has to take out loans.
I am not doing that.
No, that's
Thank you.
Alex.
No, that's me. That's me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At least you outed yourself.
Yes. Well, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up as well. We're out of topics.
I'm
and,
tired. I need to go to bed.
Oh,
Yes.
it's 9 o'clock.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's past my bedtime. 5 minutes past my bedtime.
Wow.
That
Okay.
okay, Andrew. What is? Oh,
Okay.
that's
So-
inappropriate.
So, thank you for listening to the Extreme Hardware podcast. Hope you'll join us next time. And yes, thank you. And good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I love you, viewers or listeners.
What?
You're my friends.
Okay.
You're my only friends.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of those.
And on that note,
Chris, that's really sad.
Yeah.